Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Mike Chu, a physical therapist, and yes, I'm your alternative career coach for today. Today, we have a special guest. Her name is Sue Doyle. We'll be back in a few seconds. She's going to be talking about how to start your own mobile practice if you are an occupational therapist. Okay, we'll be back in a few seconds.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
Hello, we are back. This is Dr. Mike Chu again. We are here going to you live here in our Rehab physical therapy clinic in our fancy storage area / my office, right? So you gotta use what you have, ladies and gentlemen. Use what you have, all right? I mean, it doesn't have to be really fancy. Of course, I want to have a fancy office, right? Well, anyway, it's lunchtime. We've been doing this every day, interviewing different people in the virtual geriatric rehab summit that we have. And today we have a special guest. Her name is Miss Sue Doyle. She's an occupational therapist and the owner and the founder of OT Lifestyle Solution. We're going to ask her what does she do in that OT Lifestyle Solution too, and then if I'm not mistaken, she is also an immigrant and uprooted herself from a different country and moved here in the States. And sometimes we just have to change. The only change starts from you, from within. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Miss Sue Doyle, PhD, OTR, LCAPS, champ, hashtag ABCDEFD. So where are you at now, Miss Sue? Help us how we can start our own mobile hybrid practice, or whatever you call that. And again, could you please tell us who you are, really? What do you do?
Okay, so I'm an occupational therapist. I've been an OT for more than 40 years. So that's dating myself. I'm trained in Australia.
You graduated 2 years ago, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I trained in Australia. And so in 93, like you said, I was an immigrant. We came over here for 18 months with one suitcase each and 2 little kids. And I was only going to stay for 18 months as a traveler. And so you can see how that worked out. So I have also in that time, become a university professor. I've worked in multiple areas for OT. But for the last 6 years, I've had my own practice, part mobile, part clinic. As you can see, I have a small office. But I also have been, the last couple of years, training therapists to specialize in home modifications, because that's a lot of what I do with contracts with the state and also doing with Medicare as well as private pay.
I mean, I've been meaning to ask you this. How did you get into home modification? I mean, how does that work? What is home modification, by the way?
So basically, yes, I'm remodeling the house. Basically, what it means is helping people live long and well in their own home and looking at what happens. So if you look at the housing situation in the US, less than a third of the homes can be modified to someone who has a moderate mobility disability. And really only 6% at this stage are accessible for someone in a wheelchair. And so as our population's aging, we're also keeping people alive and being able to live well, people wanting to move back home, not stay in a nursing home, etc. The demand for housing that can accommodate someone safely and help them live well as they age or as they deal with a disability is increasing. And so also, it's been recognized by Medicare. So this is a really important factor in fall prevention and in also just keeping people in their own environment, which keeps them happier and healthier.
Amazing. You mentioned the word Medicare. So are we as therapists really required? I mean, there's always a question that is out there. Are we required to submit if you're doing a home modification as a therapist?
So that's an interesting question, because the answer to that is yes, no, maybe. um, because there are definitely situations where it is required for Medicare. And AOTA put out a statement on this a couple of years ago when I raised up the question that it was covered, and they actually had attorneys spend 6 months reviewing this. And so there are three situations. There's the situation where it's definitely a medical necessity, it is billable. There's a situation where it could be and it's questionable. And then there's definitely just the aging in place, preparing in advance situation that is a private pay. And so there are those kind of three scenarios. And so in our class, the HAST program, which is the Home Accessibility and Safety Therapist program that Cara and I run on Next Level, we go through those scenarios and help therapists make the decisions on how to do that.
That's amazing concept there. Let me ask you too. When it comes to home modification, who does the referral? I mean, how does that work? I mean, I know how it works, but for the benefit of our listeners, so if I wanted to be a CAPS, a champ. By the way, could you please talk about all those letters there? I mean, what does it mean? So,
yeah, it meant I spent a lot of money on certifications. So the CAPS one is the Certified Aging in Place Specialist, and that one is run through the National Association of Home Builders. It's one that's recognized a lot in the building industry, but it doesn't give occupational therapists a lot of the skills that they need to make the occupational therapy decision making and part of the program. It's very good in terms of that national recognition. CHAMP is the Certified Home Accessibility and Modification Professional, and that's run from the David Corey Company in Florida. And it's focused on working in the workers' compensation environment. And there's certainly some skills in there as a therapist that are helpful for us, but it helps us understand the workers' compensation environment and looking at working with people who've had catastrophic injuries that need home modifications. The HAS certification, or the Home Accessibility and Safety Therapist, is the one that Cara and I put together for Next Level to look at the therapist who's working in the Medicare Part B, general aging in place population, and giving them the skills that they need as an occupational therapist to be able to do the training, the certification, the assessments, all the tools, how to draw up a plan, what to do with the assessment, how to write a letter of medical necessity, what's a scope of work, all of those kinds of components that allow them to function as an occupational therapist in that environment.
I got lost there for a second. There's too much stuff to think about, all of those letters. Well, anyway, I like what Miss Sue mentioned there. Sometimes you just have to get out there, learn from the other certification classes, and you have to also implement. We will learn all this stuff along the way, but the question is, are you implementing it? Just like in therapy, right, Miss Sue? We can get all this home exercise program in the world, the apps, the fancy apps, the courses, the classes, but if you don't take action, that's where we get stuck. And this is what Miss Sue is going to teach us in the virtual Geriatric Summit next week. So could you please tell us again, Miss Sue, what are you going to be specifically talking about next week in our virtual summit?
Absolutely. So I brought in a couple of special speakers who are going to be talking to us. We have a contractor that's going to be talking to us about how not to have your home look like a hospital. He's coming from that perspective. I have Carolyn Sithon coming in to talk to us, who's looking at assessments. She's done the Home for Life design and looking at some of those options. And then I know there's a few others about accessible dwelling units, etc. But Kathy Wright and I from Ponte Julio are going to be talking about how to prescribe a grab bar. Going through all the different components of prescribing grab bars and what does that look like. And I'm actually going to be pulling in some of the research. It's amazing, the research that is there. And so looking at how do we as therapists use that research to make the decisions that we're doing. And then Kathy's going to be giving us a tour and showing us some of the great products they have at Ponte Julio that we can use in that environment.
Amazing. Again, thank you very much, Ms. Sue, for answering the call of being amazing for just being amazing, not only for yourself but also for your community, and also for our group that we're serving, both therapy side and in the patient care side. So again, thank you very much. Where can they reach you, Miss Sue? Do you have any website that they can go to,
Yes.
or?
Yes, my
Mhm.
website is OT Lifestyle Solutions. There is a contact page on there, so you can send a contact in there. And then, my email is just sdoyle@otlifestylesolutions.com. And just to add a word, I'm also going to be teaching some stuff on my PhD research on sensory impairments after stroke. So,
Typing up your emails in a second there. All right. Again, thank you very much, Miss Sue. I appreciate you for everything that you do. I know you're a very busy person. Again, before I let you go, always remember the word fast, my Facebook friends and YouTube or wherever you're watching in the podcast or whatever. Remember the word fast, FAST, letter F. It's not another F. It's not another letters behind Miss Sue's name, okay? So letter F. Find friends that will bring out the best in you, because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So who are you hang out with? Are you hang out with awesome people? Guess what? You're going to be awesome. Hang out with Sue Doyle. You're going to start your own mobile practice. You're going to be able to open up your home modification business, right? So hang out with her, all right? Go to her website. Next is letter A, take action. I already preached this again and again. Stop analyzing. Stop the analysis paralysis and just take action. It doesn't have to be big. Just one day at a time, one step at a time. Just what Miss Sue is doing. Next letter is letter S. Shoot for the moon. Why? If you keep shooting for the moon, you're going to miss it, but you're going to be landing with the stars, right? Today, I landed with the star with Miss Sue Doyle, all right? And last but not least is letter T, is teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you actually teach it, you're actually going to understand it more. Again, thank you very much, my ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you. Be awesome. Be great. Be excellent. And I think Miss Sue already left. I will see you on the Geriatric Rehab Summit, okay? Bye-bye, my Facebook and YouTube friends. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.